Hi, I'm Daniel, the Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, at Acme Incorporated, a manufacturing company. It's a big job and it's very stressful. We are under constant attack from a wide range of threats. Attack motives range from trying to steal our production data, intellectual property, and even potentially sabotaging our high-value OT plant assets. As we have modernized our plant, we have also opened up many new paths of attack, and a hacker only needs to exploit one vulnerability to gain access. I'm responsible for cybersecurity in our IT infrastructure and the OT systems in the plant. This includes OT and IT security strategy, risk management, governance, and compliance. Also business continuity and disaster recovery, along with identity and access management. Securing OT is a big problem due to IoT and internet connectivity to the plant network. You should know that cybersecurity in the plant is not our first priority. Safety is, followed by ensuring all systems are up and operational. In the past, my responsibilities rolled up to the CIO. I now report to the CEO and/or COO and sit in board meetings because cybersecurity is now a business priority at Acme. My team is small. The CIO runs IT and our Director Operations runs the plant. I collaborate with them as well as operational site managers, building operations managers, the exec team, as well as the threat hunting group. I'm measured based on system uptime, availability, plant safety, operational efficiencies, flexibility, agility. As mentioned in the opening, this is a high-stress job. I'm constantly under pressure to ensure assets and systems are protected, which may explain a CISO's 2-year average tenure. My top 3 priorities are to 1. Sustain high system availability in operations. It doesn't mean I'll be fired if a system goes down. There will be the occasional outage. 2. To minimize complexity in an organization that is change-averse. On the OT side of the house, a physical plant has a 30 to 50-year lifespan, and change is resisted. So we have to make digital transformation as pain-free as possible. While I take care of security policy and the business budgets for these advancements, my influence ensures we stay on course with our security strategy. 3. The goal that I find most exciting and scary is keeping up with the evolving threat landscape and trying to stay one step ahead of the bad guys. It's tough. These guys share advanced technology and constantly experiment and evolve new versions of malware and attack vectors. AI-based attacks are next, and who knows what they will bring. What does a day in my life look like? At 5:30 a.m., my buzzer sounds. I get out of bed, grab a coffee, and check my phone to see what happened overnight. There's always something. If it was serious, I would have gotten a phone call in the night. After a quick shower, I scan my cybersecurity news feeds and earmark articles for reading later today. 6:30, I'm in the car and tune into the radio to catch up on current events. 7:15, arrive in the office and I go straight to the SOC to get a briefing from the overnight team leader. Then I read the articles I earmarked. 8 o'clock, first meeting, and it's with my team. We're transitioning several key apps to the cloud, and I need to let the exec team know how it's going later today. 9 o'clock, I meet with the CIO to discuss budgets for next fiscal, and come away depressed because I did not get the funding I needed to make changes in modernizing plant cybersecurity. 10 o'clock, it's our monthly review with our global systems integrator. They are giving us a lot of drive in our OT security update, as we are critically short-staffed. 12 o'clock, it's lunch with my CISO peer group at a restaurant about 15 minutes stroll away, and I walk there and back for the exercise. 1:30, back in the office, and there's a code red. An APT has been discovered in our network, and the threat hunting team is on it, going over logs, revision version, patch status, and any new 0 days. 1:45. They seem to have it under control, so I get back to my office and close the door to think through how I can get funding or where to cut legacy cost so I can fund the OT changes needed. 3 o'clock, meeting with a vendor to discuss segmenting our OT networks and protecting east-west traffic from the IT side from gaining access to plant network and systems. 4 o'clock, a video conference with Chuck, our head of plant operations. He's been reading about in-destroyer crash override malware and is worried that our high-speed machines could be a target. 4:30, a call with Bill, our COO, and my boss with a status update. 4:45, I'm in the car trying to beat the rush. 8 o'clock, I'm in my home office catching up on the last 3 hours of news and events and planning for tomorrow. Our GDPR compliance is not a done deal, and we have work to do on the compliance and policy side to protect our operations in Germany and Hungary. 10 o'clock, I'm beat, and it's time for bed. 2:30 a.m., I get a call from the Code Red team. They discover that production data from our manufacturing system has been exfiltrated by what appears to be an APT and thought I should know, as there will be an inquisition when I arrive in the office. There are literally hundreds of problems that have to be solved in cybersecurity. These are the top 3 that I wrestle with on a daily, weekly basis. Let's drill down on them and examine the causes of the problems and their likely impact. The buck stops with me when it comes to cyber risk. As we modernize our OT plant, we increase risk. The cause of the increased risk is an exponentially increasing attack surface as we replace proprietary communication between plant sensors and controls with IP-based controls, introduce IoT scanners, cameras, and sensors. The impact of an expanding attack surface resulting in a breach in an IT-OT converged company ranges from serious business disruption to safety risks, including lost revenue, diminished productivity, damaged assets, endangered lives, stolen production data and IP, secondary losses in the form of fines and class action lawsuits, as well as lost customers. There is so much to be done to secure the OT side of the business, but the problem is we can't take systems down to retrofit and patch. This is always a sensitive issue with Chuck, our head of operations security. In the old days, pre-internet connectivity was handled by the OT team. There wasn't any security, as OT was isolated by virtue of air gapping. Today, we have a complexity problem in the security we introduced to protect OT. There are lots of vendors involved and few platforms that can do the job. Point products that don't connect and integrate make it difficult to get the whole context of a problem. They add costs and consume rare security talent and potentially slow down the kill chain. Moreover, performing upgrades and patching has to be scheduled in maintenance windows, which means we might run for up to 3 months with an unpatched system. This truly does keep me up at night. My team is good. We have recruited well from top universities and they learn fast, but this latest breach caught us by surprise. We are fighting an asymmetric war with evolving APTs, backed by nation states. They have what seems like infinite resources and plenty of patience, and they are constantly evolving methods and combining new ideas. The impact is that traditional security technologies are ineffective in preventing, detecting, and mitigating advanced threats in OT environments. Not only are the devices hard to manage and update, but the resources and skills are also scarce. As I think about what interests me when it comes to potential partner suppliers, I want to work with vendors who understand OT-IT convergence. I have no interest in educating vendors or working with vendors who don't have an OT presence. A single pane of glass is a cliched term in IT, but in the case of IT-OT consolidation, it's vital for visibility and control when dealing with disparate organizational segments. What turns me on is leading-edge ideas that cause me to rethink how I can improve our risk posture. I'm really wary of vendor sprawl, and we as an organization are looking for comprehensive solutions from fewer vendors. We will favor vendors who can integrate with our current OT infrastructure and who can work with our current skill levels. I'm very averse to forklifting as a solution, by the way. Finally, and maybe most importantly, we are looking for security solutions that automate much of the security management and monitoring of our environment so that my team can focus on staying ahead of these issues. As I mentioned, the buck stops with me when it comes to data breaches. If this APT breach has exfiltrated high-value data, then it's likely I'll be looking for a job next week. Is it any wonder that the average tenure of a CISO, according to analyst firm Poneman, is 2.1 years? I rarely answer my desk phone and I never check voicemail. People that I want to talk to Slack me, text, or call my cell. I scan email on my phone and earmark what I need to read later. I have excellent pattern recognition, and in less than a second, I can spot and delete vendor spam. So don't waste your time. I hire very competent people, and these are the people you should engage. If they see value and want to run with the idea you are promoting, they will engage me when needed. I value our monthly CISO meetings with my peers, as they're important to help me stay current. You could sponsor one of these events because you get a couple of minutes during lunch to share your story. By the way, no one wants a product pitch. Bring success stories about real customer challenges and successes, and you'll get a fair hearing. Gartner, IDC, and Forrester are reliable sources of vendor ratings, and I attend their conferences and subscribe to their publications. You could meet me at one of these shows and introduce your execs. Industry thought leaders and security analyst reports are valuable in understanding the trends in the threat landscape and what is working and what is not. I'm somewhat active on LinkedIn and share an article of interest every day or so with my peers. I don't accept invitations to connect with people I've not met, and it is really frustrating when I do accept an invite and the person I just connected with flips me an offer I did not ask for. Finally, when and if we do meet, I'm sure we will have a productive meeting because you will demonstrate an understanding of my business challenges and industry. You will have earned the trust of my team, and they have determined that you can contribute value. From this module, you have a better understanding of the OT CISO and how to engage them in selling the Fortinet solution to support an organization's OT security strategy.